This podcast is brought to you by Fahrenheit Fight Gear, bringing you the heat when the heat is needed. Check out Fahrenheit Fight Gear at ffightgear.com, where they have all the apparel and gear that you need to fuel the fire inside you. And make sure you follow them on Facebook and Instagram. Fahrenheit Fight Gear, coming at you hot. Hey, Steve Domenico in the Room podcast with this Saturday night's big fight for Hylton. My man, second time fighting for Bellator. This time he has a proper training camp. Ras, thank you so much for coming on the show. What are we? 2 days away from weigh-ins and 3 days away from the biggest fight of your career, brother. How you doing and how you feeling about it?
I'm directly in the middle of ecstatic and perfectly calm. It's a beautiful thing, man. I'm psyched. I'm excited. I'm ready. And it's, well, like you said, I mean, I basically had a full camp for all intents and purposes. I'm happy. It was the best thing ever.
Well, let's talk about how this fight came about. After that big underdog win, in July, that 3 days notice fight, you come in, you win a unanimous decision against a 6-1 guy that Bellator was really high on. You outworked the dude, man. You tired him out and you took a decision off their guy, man. How'd this fight come about after that fight happened?
Well, as soon as the interview was over, when I got all emotional and teary-eyed back there, the first thing I said to Jane Esioko and Richard Chu was, give me a couple weeks to heal up, and if you got somebody else while you guys are in town, please, by all means, let me know. And it was like 2 or 3 weeks later that they were already throwing a name out, and, we're both 1-0 in Bellator, so we got the same chances as far as the promotion is concerned.
Your opponent this time around, brother, is, like you said, you're 1-0 both in Bellator, but a little different here. He's 1-0 in all of MMA. He made his MMA debut for Bellator back when? In February, I think. Before COVID hit, he got that fight in for Bellator. First round ground and pound win against another opponent that Bellator was high on, and he came out and he did the same thing kind of you did, took out one of their high hope guys, and now it seems that you two guys are kind of like the new guys that Bellator are looking at, man. How you thinking about this matchup and your new opponent here, Davian Franklin, man?
I'm excited. I mean, his skill set is right in my wheelhouse. Like you said, we're both 1-0, and we're both looking to be able to make that next evolutionary step in our careers and make sure that Bellator wants to keep us around for more than just, hey, you want this one guy and we'll see how you do. So it's like I've been saying right from the get-go, I want Bellator to keep me around for that multi-fight deal. I want to stick around. I want to climb the ranks, and eventually I want to hold that strap. I mean, that's what I'm here for.
Well, I know, listening to some past interviews of Mr. Franklin's, he is signed by Bellator. I think he had a 4-fight contract for him. A big win here, Raz. You think you got a 3 or 4 fight contract with a great performance here?
Absolutely. They've already expressed willingness to work with me, and we've all have had a mutually beneficial time, and I'm looking to continue that for as long as is possible. Nothing but great people here.
Dangerous opponent. Not that your last one wasn't dangerous, but 3 days notice, last opponent, you went in there, you took the win off the dude. Now we get a full camp, but we got a different animal here. We have a natural athlete, a huge wrestler in college, a football player. A little late in his MMA career, but as we know, that wrestling base is really, really important getting started in MMA. He's been talking about working on a stand-up, and that's all he's been focusing on. Man, what are you thinking about this wrestling phenom coming into Bellator? Who claims he's going to take out the whole heavyweight division as he gets rolling?
Hey, he's a young guy. He's got a really good pedigree, like you said, when it comes to the wrestling and football. He should feel good. He's coming out of a really good camp. He's got a lot of good things going for him, and I just need to go and prove that what I have is too much for him. It's really a simple equation.
Coming out of Jackson Wink, you mentioned a great camp he's out of. They threw him right into the fire right away. They knew the tools this dude had. So, Bellator is high on him. He's a young kid coming out of that camp, 1-0. He's got them credentials behind him with the wrestling. Raz, how's the training camp, man? What did we add? You knew who you were getting ready against. You went against a wrestler not too long ago, another college wrestler, another guy with the same kind of path as Mr. Franklin, Terrence Gene Jock, man. You brought this dude in who was a previous opponent of yours to help you with the wrestling game, man. How much did that help you out?
It was exactly what I needed. We had a couple of days straight of working together and going through a full simulated wrestling workout, which I've been maintaining over the last few weeks leading up to this fight. It was very intense, and it really opened my eyes to what wrestlers have been doing on a daily basis for years. I mean, it's obviously my coach John Rayo had a good wrestling pedigree as well, and there's been a lot that we've been doing, but as with any skill set when it comes to combat sports or just sports in general that are very physical, that everyone in that particular set, like when it comes to wrestlers, you've got somebody who's only really worked in the Northeast, you got somebody who worked out in the Midwest, they've got a different perspective. I was able to meet Lyoto Machida finally. Back we were working out this evening, and so to make the same point, my traditional karate background lately has been Shotokan. That's where I have a second degree under Andy Campbell. But even though Lyoto is a Shotokan practitioner, he learned in a different place. He's going to have a different perspective on the art form than I do. It's going to be the same with any particular skill set that you look at. Everyone has their own viewpoints and their own priorities that they stress in training. And it just helped to tweak the perspective a little bit so that I could make adjustments for me. This whole year has been about making me the best martial artist that I can be and best cage fighter, which, well, like you said, this is the biggest fight of my life. It's going to be the best one, too.
Excellent. I know we got your right hand manned on the side of you right there. Mr. Sorrow there, Mr. Golden Gloves, man. Where is he? He's keeping you. There's your bodyguard for the weekend. Your lucky charm, I have to say. Your lucky charm right there in Chris, man.
Damn right. I tell you what, you guys are going to see some amazing shit Saturday night. And I'm not just saying that because I'm friends with him. He knows I wouldn't blow smoke up anybody's ass when it comes to this. That's how you get someone hurt. But we've been working the past couple of days just being here, and his mindset is on point. I mean, if your mental's on point, he's in the best shape of his life. We've been getting in time at Jack and Jill Gym in South Portland, and effective training, smart training. But his hands and his movement and his timing, I mean, I had to wrap my hands before I put the pads on. I had to wrap my hands because I'm not kidding you, and I've held for a lot of people. He's really found how to transition his weight, and his power is on point, and it's bone-crushing power. You guys are finally going to get to see this guy come out there and use all of his size and reach and ability, and it's gonna be a dangerous night. I love it, man. I love it.
Awesome.
Yeah, man.
Well, here you go again, Raz. You have Chris in your corner again. You guys are both held up in a hotel room. How long is this COVID? Last time you were on a 3-day notice. How did that work out with COVID, and what's the difference in the second time around with testing and all that?
It's the difference of arriving Wednesday versus arriving Monday.
Okay.
This time I was down here Monday morning, late Monday morning. L&L Transportation got us down here. The owners of the company drove all the way up from Calais, which is basically the Canadian border, down to my house, got us down to Connecticut, and then had to drive all the way back home to get the kids ready for school the next day. That's an all-day affair. And they had to jump through hoops because my original leave time was Sunday, and then Travis went and had to let them know that they were that Bellator had informed us that we had to arrive Monday instead of Sunday. So Chris and Elena. Chris and Elena.
Nice. Back. You got the back guy there.
Yeah. Not this Chris. Chris and Elena from L&L Transportation went and shifted their entire day around and were able to make it so that we got down here on time and got checked in, had all of our stuff. A phenomenal, absolutely earth-moving venture that I can't thank them enough for. And they're going to be the ones to bring me home on Sunday when it's all over as well.
Excellent. Victory party coming home, man. Can't wait. They'll have the balloons on the back of the friggin' van and all that other stuff.
They're going to have to load me up in the trunk for this one.
Well, let's talk a little bit. You mentioned Travis, and, Pete, let's talk a little bit about the people that helped you get here and, the support you've been getting. We got Walt Anderson, who made your banner, who just said on the feed, he said...
It looks phenomenal, by the way.
I'm going to show it right now in a second. I got it up on here. So,
please.
Walt said his fighters are 10-0 when he makes banners for them. So that's a good sign right there. But you don't need it. I'm going to throw it up there right now because you got a bunch of sponsors. But you mentioned Travis. Let's talk a little bit about Travis's input in helping you get this fight and kind of helping you along the way with this next opportunity of yours.
Absolutely. Travis has been instrumental in helping to gather these sponsors together, get the banner put together, talk to the people making my shirt, making my shorts, got those commissioned completely without my help entirely. Anytime we had a little hiccup or lack of information, he was right on top of it, getting in touch with me and making sure that I was aware that things were getting done. Like I said, with that, with the switch of our leave time, he handled that, and I got communication that the date had changed and that he was already working on it. And then like an hour or less later, he gave me the call back that our leave time had changed and we were all set to go. That's just one example, and it's the one that's taken in recent memory because the only thing I've got in my head is combos and movement right now. But there have been dozens of these little movements that have been absolutely fantastic, and all I really have to do is train. I mean, that's what your manager's supposed to make it happen, right? Let me and my coaches do my thing and make sure that that's all I have to do. And he's been real good about making sure that's what happens. It's phenomenal.
And I know through your career, your wife has played that part as manager, helping you along, do your medicals, getting the stuff done that you needed to get done. But, bringing Travis in, now you have your wife as your wife during the training camp and stuff. I mean, she could still do the little things that needed, but now the bigger things, she can focus on you and keeping your mind straight. And, you let Travis and stuff handling the management. So how are you feeling going into this as far as your comfortability in your mind heading in there? Training camp, you've been there already through COVID, second time around, and, it's a fair game here with you and Mr. Franklin. No one's really got the advantage. I mean, you have the cage time in there, but as far as, the Bellator experience, man, it's 1-1 here, man. How you feeling in the mind this time around, bro?
I feel great. I've been saying it for years. This is where I wanted to go. This is where I want to stay. And that's what we get to make happen. I got my best friend, my brother right here helping me get it done. I got John and Chris McBean coming down on Thursday. I've got my family at home watching, getting everything together. I got great sponsors who have been making it possible for me to get that job done, and everything is just a beautiful, well-oiled machine. Now we get to just enjoy the results of our labors. I don't know. I keep on circling back to that same thing. Everything is just going exactly the way I need to, and we're continuously zeroing in on the point that I need to be at and where I need to be in order to give the best performance every single time. It's only getting better, and we're only evolving towards something that's more and more precise and flows better every time I work through it. So what more can I ask for?
Awesome. Well,
I get more and more grateful. First round knockout, first round KO.
There's way too much handsome in this room right now, guys. You're killing us. You're killing us over here. Hey, before we break down this fight a little bit, because there's not much to break down on your opponent here. He's got one fight. I mean, he's got no amateur fights. But we'll talk a little bit about that last performance. But, you know, speaking of your wife, you got a lot of things going back, happening in Maine. You got a couple of big parties going as far as, watch parties Saturday night. Let's talk a little bit about the support you got back in Maine for Raz this time around, bro.
So, Janice, so Full Contact Management Company, Travis and them, along with Janice, are hosting a watch party down at Dragonfire Martial Arts. Shihan Andy Campbell, unfortunately, has other commitments, family commitments that he made months ago that he couldn't break in order to be down here. So he's having everything get hosted right at the dojo. I don't remember exactly the time frame and everything, but if you know my wife, get a hold of her. She will fill you in on all the details. It's 10,000 square foot dojo, so you can be socially distant. It's going to be fully catered, and it's nothing but friends and family there. Again, I can't express enough gratitude for everybody who's come together to make this happen, to help her have a good time and help really support her, because we haven't been apart except for these two fights. She's been there for every single show, and Geneva's been there for all but I think like one of them maybe. But due to the pandemic, I'm only allowed to travel with my coaches. So knowing that she's got that support system and we've got all that friends and family right there to help her kind of ease the stress a little bit, it takes a weight off of me, knowing that she's got people with her who are invested in making sure that we all enjoy this experience together.
Awesome, man.
The dojo family.
I got Terrence over here saying, party, food, I'll be there.
He knows exactly where to be.
I know Terrence he's playing football and everything, right? Like, he's all over the place. Yeah. I know he was in Florida visiting or vacationing. Is he in New England right now? Like, I know he came to train with you, but is he still in New England right now?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he came back within the last week or so. And he's been in contact. We've been chatting here and there, making sure that I get everything lined up the way it needs to. And yeah, you should absolutely be there at the watch party. And Terrence, if you're not, I'm going to complain. Right?
That's awesome. Yeah, party on the weekend. He'll be there. He said, there's a bunch of people saying stuff. I just can't keep track. There's a lot of people watching. A lot of people from Maine, of course. You got a lot of fans.
I told you, there are so many great people who are helping to make this a magical weekend, and every day we get closer to it, it just keeps on getting better and better. I didn't think it was possible, but I feel more ready the more we get close to it, and everything just continues to flow where it needs to be.
It's Wednesday night now. When do you actually get to leave that hotel room? How much longer are you in there, captive?
So we just let up on quarantine today, but it's only like a slightly larger quarantine. There's a specific wing of the hotel that we're allowed to be in. We can only go get our food, come right back to the room. And, I guess it's a slightly longer leash, so that's kind of nice. But, I mean, other than the workout room and going to get food, it's really not much doing. So we're hanging out in the hotel room. Chris got a little vinyl record player, so we've been jamming out on jazz and just. He's got his VR headset, so there are little drills that I do in there for hand-eye coordination, just to stay loose, stay accurate, and whatever we can do to pass the time. It's good. It's like a vacation, really.
Nice.
This is a vacation where I get to fight at the end of it, so it's the best kind of vacation you can get.
Fight for the.
Hey, you said you weren't going to tell them about that. Oh my God!
What's he saying? What's going on back there? Is he giving beans up? What's going on back there?
There was no talk about Naked Twister at all.
Oh, all right, not yet. Janice ain't listening. I blocked her out of this.
Ah, perfect.
All right. Well, dude, I asked you before we went on. I like to bust balls and shit. I said, did you size your opponent up? Have you seen him in person? Anything? Have you tried to trip him down the stairs? Anything going on with that?
Oh, come on. Steve, we're live right now, and I would never admit to that. That would be utterly ridiculous. But no, in all seriousness, we've just literally crossed by each other in the hall a couple of times. We all got to go down for a daily temperature check and symptom test or symptom check and all that. So we've passed each other by, but there's no animosity. We've got a job to do. We're both there to do it, and we're both excited to work, I'm sure.
Excellent. Well, let's talk a little bit about the matchup itself. I mean, no game plans here, but watching his last fight, he's pretty relaxed in there as far as when he stand up there, but he is explosive when he goes for that shoot in there. But I noticed, his opponent he went against was much smaller as far as reach and stuff. He looks like you might be able to clip this dude somewhere in there. I mean, he's inexperienced on his feet. We know that. I mean, he's training out of Jackson Wick. We know he's getting great training. But, Raz, you've been at this a long time. I mean, stand-up is kind of your bread and butter going now. Now you're getting, you're getting help with the wrestling just to prepare for him. But do you feel that you're the more dangerous guy in there come Saturday night?
Well, of course I do. I'm me, and I have an opponent, so that's just the way that I look at things. This is your classic striker versus grappler battle. He's a wrestler. He's obviously working with Jackson Wink, so he's got a great striking coach over there, and he's got a great game plan to put everything together, but he's going to lean on his wrestling. I'm going to lean on my striking, and we'll meet somewhere in the middle. But there's really nowhere that this fight could go that I feel like I would not have an answer of some sort in order to get back to where I want to be.
I would imagine you're going to try to keep it standing, but like you said, you have no problem if it hits the ground. I mean, Raz, we've seen you on the ground. I mean, you have great skills there. I mean, this is
not great yet.
Well, you don't look like a fish out of water when you're on the ground. I mean, you do a lot of grappling. A lot of your fights do end up on the ground. And, you know what I mean? It is what it is. I mean, a lot of your fights you've lost, it's been on the feet. And now you're going to be going against a guy that you definitely have the advantage on the feet there. So it's an interesting matchup. Listening to him, people ask him in interviews I watched, they're going to say, you're going to go to your bread and butter in your wrestling. He goes, my bread and butter is everything. He feels that he can out-strike you. He can, of course, he thinks he can out-wrestle you. He thinks he's just going to roll right through you, Raz. I mean, the way he's talking, and I would imagine, what are you thinking about that? I mean, there's been other opponents that said the same thing, and it hasn't happened. What goes through your head, and what do you manage? How do you manage that? And, what goes through your head when someone says that? Because it seems like he's not giving you a chance here, the way he's spoken.
Well, he's a fighter. Any fighter should walk up to an opponent like that's what's supposed to happen. It doesn't really matter my feelings on the equation. My feelings are he's going to bring me the best fight that he's capable of bringing, and if that's the way that he gets himself into that mental state, then so be it. I don't feel any kind of way about it. I would hope that level of confidence would mean that he's going to bring the absolute best Davion Franklin that's possible for me to fight, and that's That's where we are right now. We're in Bellator. If I'm not fighting the best, then there's really no point in me fighting them. I'm here to make that statement and get to the point where the opponents that I'm fighting are getting me in the position where I can get to the heavyweight strap and then hold it. So, yeah, please, by all means, I want that same energy on Saturday night, because that means that he's ready. He's not going to pull any punches. He's going to give me his absolute best self, and that's what I'm going to give him as well. We're fighters. That's the game.
Excellent. Before I let you give all your shout-outs and, thank yous and all that, and I let Chris take us home with what he has to say about what's going to go on Saturday night, what's your take? What are we going to see out of Mr. Hylton on Saturday night to shock New England and the world?
First round KO.
Ooh.
I have done everything that I need to do, and we're going to continue to hone over the next couple of days, but everything in my life has led to this moment. I have been broken. I have been knocked down. I've been taken out. I have been absolutely at the bottom, and I've been all the way on the top in my own way. And everything that I have done is leading up to making sure that I can provide the best entertainment for Bellator fans everywhere. And I'm bringing Rasquatch Nation with me to show them how we do things on the national stage. It's been a long, hard road getting here, and I aim to stay for a good long while.
Awesome. And we're happy to have you stay and represent New England on the biggest stages out there, my friend. Raz, we're gonna throw your banner up there again. I got a lot of people on here that are excited. Ryan Valancourt, he's all excited. He had no idea he was going to be on the banner, so he's watching right now. So I'm gonna throw the banner up there, and you can give all your thank yous and everything else.
So since we're leading off with Ryan, hey, by the way, yes, you are. Ryan's own beef jerky has been there from the get-go. It's the family recipe that he's got and he's sending out. Please look them up on Facebook and make sure that you give him a shout and a mention. It's the best beef jerky that I've had, and I will say that no matter what, no matter when. My big recent addition is Rude as well. Good man. Thanks for the swag. Appreciate you. Real rude boy here. Procedure. Real leader. Hey Engines, you're going to see at the top of that banner. They are my newest and most favorite friends. Online money transfer and business site. Please help support local businesses. This man is absolutely worthy of your attention and your notice. Please make sure that you go on that site and you get some work done with him. Wow, got me all excited. Now I got everything out of order. Jack and Jild started with me when I didn't even know when I was going to get a fight. And Brandon has been making sure that I get absolutely the work that I need done, stay my healthiest, stay my most conditioned, and again, provide my best physical self for all the work that I do. Portland Nutrition Corner has been with me from day one. Chuck has always been there for knowledge for the health supplements that I need, and it's really, really important to make sure that as an athlete you get the nutrients and as much as you need tailor-made for yourself. So please go talk to Portland Nutrition Corner down in South Portland. They're right on 85 Western Avenue. Great people. L&L Transportation, like I said, are my saviors for making sure that I can get to and from this place. And please make sure that you give them a call, 207-610-5100. Elena and Chris will take care of you. Have no fear about that. I may or may not be missing somebody, but once again, back to the home team. First Class Fitness and MMA in Brunswick, MMA gym that Nick Gully brought me to, and I have never looked back since because that gives me everything that Dragonfire Martial Arts does not. I started with Shihan Andy Campbell. Well, he's a Kyoshi now, but he'll always be the teacher of teachers for me. I started with Dragonfire Martial Arts, and if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have made it to First Class. But the dual strength of these two gyms has put me in a position where I'm contending on the national stage. and people are sitting up and taking notice. There are so many people personally who I will talk to on a regular basis, who continuously send me well wishes and encouragement and keep me going and really feed me the fire. So it doesn't matter if there's a crowd or not. I've got a crowd all over New England that's shouting out for me. And Devin Powell just picked up one of my shirts.
Nice.
Another great fanboy moment for me. I know somebody's going to be wearing the tie-dye when it comes out. And, of course, like I mentioned, first full contact management. Your boy Travis and Lars have been taking care of me, making sure that Janice can have all the help she needs, so that all she needs to do is make the tie-dyes, hand them over, and the team takes care of me. And one more personal shout-out. I want to thank Jimmy Birchfield Sr. for reaching out to me personally and offering me a little bit of help and his personal congratulations and encouragement for this bout. For those of you who know him, you know that's somebody you want in your corner. So I'm real glad to be able to have him give me the shout out. And the next CES show that is available, I'll be jumping down there so I can go say hi to everybody and show my gratitude. If I'm forgetting anyone, please, I apologize. Reach out to me. Tell me that I have failed. I have no problem with that because, well, I mean, if you go to my striking class, you know, there's my two number one rules that are simultaneously important. Number one, you are going to screw this up. Number two, that is okay, because if you're not screwing up, you're not even trying, so you may as well do something about it. You continuously, through these mistakes, grow as a person and as a fighter, as a martial artist. This is how we get things done. We try, we fail, we try again until we get as far as we can go, and then we go a little bit further than that. So, here's to the top and then some more.
Awesome, my man.
Thanks, guys.
Great time, brother. Thank you so much for calling in. Like a couple of days away from
You're another one
weigh-in.
who's been with me right from the beginning, and I can't thank you enough for continuing to have this ugly mug all over your screen.
Ugly mug guy, you look more handsome than ever tonight, man. You're glowing. You're glowing.
Right.
You're confident, and you got the other handsome fella right behind you. Ross,
Hey, get your beard over here.
bring him
get
in
your beard
here.
over
Bring
here.
him in here with you, and let him take us home. Chris, what are we gonna see Saturday night from this monster?
Call it.
You're going to see a level of violence that you've never seen before. You got a 6'6", which I think he's 6'8", but we ain't going there.
Yeah.
Monster, okay? 84-inch reach, and he's skilled beyond belief, you know. And we've seen him turn his career around. And I kid you not when I say this. You're going to see this young man's going to come out there, and I'm glad he's confident because that means
Young man. Thank you.
I was talking about your opponent. But
Oh!
he's confident, which is good because, you know, Ras is the kind of fighter that the better the opposition, the better he fights and the more dangerous he fights. And this guy, he's got a kill or be killed mentality. He did in our fight. You know, it was a dangerous fight we were in, you know, and so someone who embraces that end of things when it comes to this form of competition, that's a recipe for a dangerous fight. So as well as all the other beautiful fights on that card, and not just because he's my friend, because truly as talking on a technical level, if you were an MMA fan, this is a fight that you don't want to miss. This is going to be a clinic. Striker versus grappler, a young man, versus another young man, but
I'm well seasoned.
a more seasoned veteran.
Watch your mouth.
We couldn't ask for a more exciting fight. You're going to see a first-round knockout. That's just it, man. You know how I give them. I give it cut and dry. It's going to be a first-round KO. And God bless them. I wish they both walk out of there as they did walking in, but this guy's bringing home the W, man. That's just the bottom line of it.
Well, there you go. The dynamic duo right there, ready to take out another opponent at Bellator this Saturday night, September 12th at Mohegan Sun. We have the Rasquatch back. Bellator MMA looking for a second win. And big things to come after that hand is raised. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to say one last thing to the folks at home before I get going. and go enjoy a beer. But guys, have a fun couple of days there before it's time to work, and we'll see you Saturday night.
My honor, Steve. Thank you again.
Love you, Steve.
Bye, guys. Take care. Boop. Gone. They're gone. All right, guys. That was awesome. What's want a bean? Come October, my name will be Champ. Blaine Shot. All right, we'll talk, brother. We'll talk. Last thing I want to say before we go. Let me take these little. Let me take this poster down. Boom, boom. Where are we? Right here. Where is it? All right, let me get rid of that. Last thing I'm going to say before we go is not only is Ross fighting tomorrow, but Pat Gorilla Ninja Casey, not tomorrow, Saturday night. Pat Gorilla Ninja Casey will be on the same card, Bellator 246, fighting at 185 pounds. Big fight for Pat. We wish him luck. I will be speaking with him tomorrow. We will be having an interview, and I'll be releasing it tomorrow night about his thoughts on his late notice fight at Bellator. His biggest fight to date, his biggest opportunity coming late notice, 7 days in late notice on Saturday night. So with that said, let me get rid of that. How do we get rid of that? I forget all the time. Sorry, folks. Sorry. Where is that? There we are. So with that said, I'm leaving. I'm going to go have a beer. Tomorrow I will be interviewing, like I said, Pat Casey. And then Friday I will be having another podcast, but that will be with another guest, not to do with anything happening Saturday. But I will post that tomorrow or Thursday. Tomorrow is Thursday. Or Friday on who I will have on Friday night. So with that said, Mike, thank you. Blaine Shot, a lot of stuff coming out of you. Janice Hylton, thank you so much. Walt Anderson, awesome banner. Let me throw that up one more time. If you need banners done, Walt Anderson is the man. Where is it? Where is the banner? Where'd it go? Sorry, Walt. There it is. So one last look at Rasquatch Hylton's banner made by Walt Anderson. You need a banner done, contact him. He'll get it done. He's 10-0. Fighters are 10-0 when Walt makes their banner. So with that said, that's about it. Thanks for tuning in. We out of here.